Hello all, welcome to this session. In this session, I am going to explain and practically demonstrate about override annotation in Java. So let's get started. First of all, this annotation, that is override annotation, is an optional annotation. It's not a compulsory to provided annotation, it is an optional annotation. It's not mandatory for us to specify this particular annotation in the Java programming. It's an optional annotation. Even though it's an optional annotation, even though it's not mandatory for us to specify this override annotation, but if we really want to specify it, where do we have to specify this annotation? That's the second question, right? So if you really want to specify this optional annotation, that is override annotation in Java, we have to specify it on the top of the which method? Overridden method. Okay, we have to specify this on the top of the overridden method in Java. When you create an overridden method in Java, on the top of that overridden method, you can specify this annotation. Why we have to specify? The one of the main reasons why we have to specify this override annotation in Java before this overridden methods is that for readability purpose, for improving the readability of the Java programming. When someone reads your Java program, when they encounters a particular overridden method, by looking at the method, they will not understand immediately that this particular method is an overridden method of one of the method in the parent class, right? You'll not understand directly. But if you specify this annotation on the top of a really overridden method, though it is optional to specify, if you really specify, that will increase the readability of the code, but because the one who is going through the code immediately can point out which method is an overridden method. Though it is a overridden method, if you don't provide the annotation, it's very difficult for us to understand that that is an overridden method of a particular method in the same method in the parent class. We will not understand so easily until we look into the code very deep. But when you are at high level going through the code of a Java code, and suddenly you spot this particular method where overridden annotation is mentioned, by looking at that annotation, you can easily understand that, okay, this method is an overridden method. This is actually overriding some method in the parent class, right? That's what you will understand. To improve the readability, this is the main benefit of providing the override annotation in Java. So there is one more benefit also, that is error checking, guys, compiler error checking. So if you specify this override annotation before a method which is not really an overridden method, immediately Java compiler will let us know that this is not an overridden method. It's not correct to provide override annotation on top of this method, because this particular method is not really a overridden method, because it's not really overriding any particular method in the parent class. It will let us know. Okay, assuming that, okay, this is an overridden method and you are simply writing this override annotation, immediately Java will let us know that if it is not really overridden method, it will let us know. We can correct our mistakes. Okay, maybe we have spelled the method name wrong in the parent class or child class and we are treating that as an overridden method. Some mistakes will happen, right? But if you provide this annotation, even though it's optional, if you provide this annotation, the benefits are, one of the benefit is readability of the code will be increased. Even though it's optional, the readability of the code is getting increased because we can spot the overridden methods in this Java code. Okay, and second thing is that if you are making any mistakes in overriding, okay, while implementing that overriding concept, method overriding concept in Java programs, if you are doing some mistakes, maybe as simple as making some mistakes in the spelling mistakes in the method names, etc., automatically compiler will let us know that this particular method is not really overriding any particular method in the parent class. We can fix the problem. So let me demonstrate this, guys. Okay, so these are all theoretical explanations so far, right? But when I practically demonstrate, you will understand this concept very well. Okay, so for that, I'll switch to this Eclipse IDE here. I'm going to create a new class. I'll just name this class as some name like class 1 or something. Okay, some random name. Now finish. Okay, finish. I'll remove this public from here. And here I'll create one more class. I'll just name this class as class 2, let's say. I want to make this class 2 a child class of this class 1. Next thing is that I want to make this class 2 a child class of the class 1. I'll write extends class 1, right? Now I'll create a method here like public void sample method system.out.println parent class sample method, I'll say. Okay, and here Also in the child class, which is a child of this class 1 parent class, I'll create one more method, public void sample. If I create this sample method, if I write this print statement here, child class hyphen sample method, like this I'll write. Now you know that since this particular method is a duplicate method of the method in the parent class, and that this particular class is child class of this parent class, we know that this particular method is a overridden method. When you give this code to someone, by looking at this code, can they logically understand? They will try to think logically while going through this code. By thinking logically, they will read the code. Most of the people don't do that. Very less people will do that. Okay. Okay. They will see that, okay, this class one, there is a sample method. This class two is child class of class one. And again, the same sample method is there. Some people will point out, okay, okay, the one who has created this program has created a overridden method. They will know. Some people, but not everyone. But for increasing the readability, that everyone should know that this particular method is an overridden method of the method in the parent class, what we can do here, optionally, this is optional, but if you specify that, readability will be increased. Okay, override. Like this, I'll add the annotation. Okay, this annotation is from the Java library, guys. This annotation is from the Java library at the rate override annotation. And on providing this annotation, if you are not getting any errors, that is a proof that this particular method in the child class is an overridden method of the same method in the parent class. That you will come to know. What if? You see, already I proved that this is an optional annotation. It's not compulsory to provide. You see, no errors. If I provide also, no problem. If it is really an overridden method, I'm not getting any issues. But what if some mistakes were done by the person who has written this program where, okay, he has a spelling mistake here. Okay, in the sample method, the person who has written this code has really thought of creating an overridden method, and in the parent class has written this, there was spelling mistake. Instead of sample, right, SAMMPLE has written. Now in the child class, the person is thinking that, okay, I'm overriding the method in the parent class, and he forgot to provide the at the rate override annotation. Now, the one who has created this Java program was in a belief that, okay, there is a method in the parent class, and in the child class, I created an overridden method. The person is believing because he didn't notice that he has made a mistake, spelling mistake in the parent class method. Now this method is different, this method is mistake. Because of this, uh, this particular method is in the parent class is different, this particular method in the child class is not a duplicate because there's spelling mistake in the parent class method, right? Okay, but the person who has written this program has thought that, I didn't do any mistake here, I didn't do any mistake. Okay, this particular is in a belief system that this particular method is really overriding the method in the parent class. I forgot because override annotation is optional, right? So I don't thought of providing it. But what if some other developer who want to write the same code, he is very particular in, he is a Mr. Perfect kind of guy and is very particular in writing the code, and okay, he also did the same mistake here, spelling mistake has done, and he thought that, okay, I'm trying to override this particular method in the parent class in the child class like this by creating the same duplicate method here. But he's a Mr. Perfect guy, so he want to be everything to be very perfect and everything should be correct, right? So he has a habit of writing mentioning, even though it's optional, he thought of mentioning that at the rate override annotation. But the moment he has specified the at the rate override annotation, which is optional, here he is getting an error. Then he thought of understanding what is the problem here. Okay, for readability purpose, I have written at the rate override, and this particular method supposed to override this particular method in the parent class, but there is an error coming. Why this error is coming? He'll investigate. The one who has used this at the rate override optional annotation before this particular override and method got a surprise here in the form of an error. So over the mouse, the method sample of type must override or implement a subtype method. Okay, create sample method in the superclass. Okay, now it's suggesting me to create a sample same method in the already I created, right? Why it's asking me again? Then he got a doubt. Okay, there is a spelling mistake. He corrected the mistake. The error is gone now. So for compile time, error checking also, for compile time, error checking also, at the rate override optional annotation will help the developers while writing the code. And also when someone will read this code, the person who is reading the code will get to know that this particular method is overriding a particular method in the parent class. Because of this annotation, he will be damn sure, right? So this is how we can specify at the rate override annotation. It is an optional annotation, and by mentioning this at the rate override annotation before the overridden methods, It will benefit us in increasing the readability of the code. And also, if any compile time error checks are there regarding that overridden method concepts, the Java compiler will let us know before we run the code. Okay. So we'll go to that. We'll get to know that we have really overridden the methods or not, we'll come to know because of providing this annotation. So it's a good practice to provide this override annotation before the overridden methods in Java, guys. So that's all for this session. See you in the next session. Thank you. Bye bye.